this is it, the final part of our Leading Our Own Way series with the three flying fish. Over the 4 past episodes, we've really explored their journey from dream to reality. The reality doesn't really set in, though, till the 12th of December of this year. Because, the hardships they've faced and the strength required to row across the Atlantic. And that's only really going to be tested when they actually do it, right? Everything else is just mimicking that real life scenario. But what comes next? Because in this final part, we talk about legacy and impact, their mission to inspire young people, their hopes for the future, and the lasting change they want to create through their fundraising for Teenage Cancer Trust. Their adventure is about so much more than rowing. It's about showing what's possible when you chase a purpose greater than yourself. Let's finish strong, because I know this episode will inspire many, many, many of you. So please go and finish it off, and spread and subscribe to the channel. It's really going to help us meet other amazing people like these three. Thank you again to the three flying fish, Rowan, Harry and Anna. They're incredible, and they're going to come back next year once we've done the row. It's going to be amazing. We'll do another chat and how it went for them, and I'm going to send them some merchandise. This is new merchandise too. If you ever want any, let me know, and I'm going to get them a hoodie, so they've said they're going to wear it on the boat. Enjoy. We'll speak soon. I'm not a campaign guy. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of, you guys are the experts. So is there anything we've missed in terms of the trip, in terms of the campaign, before I ask you around about the cancer side of things?
So I think there is one thing, and it's how the shift patterns work.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I should have known that.
Obviously, when we want that boat to keep moving the whole time, so that means we got to have at least 2 people on the oars at any one time. So that means there's 3 of us. There'll be 1 person resting, 2 people on the oars, which also means, we were doing it yesterday, we're not going to get much sleep at all. So it's going to be 2 hours rowing on, 1 hour.
My light's just gone off. Sorry. Sorry, carry on. My light turns off at 11:15 at night over here.
So 2 hours on, 1 hour off is our shift pattern. So depending on how we're going to change things, realistically, the most amount of sleep we're ever going to have is 1 hour.
Please check on the person who's sleeping, just because of those swordfish as well, by the way. Please.
Yeah. So we've got to prepare our bodies to the fact that, we're going to be tired pretty much the whole time. We're going to be hallucinating. When I rode the North Sea, I saw a Viking ship on a crest of a wave, and obviously that wasn't real, but I was hallucinating that Viking ship. It's all because of sleep deprivation. So yeah, that's a question we get asked all the time. How does sleep work, and how does that shift pattern work? We're gonna put ourselves through hell to get to Antigua, but we're gonna do it.
And is there any point in time where all 3 of you can be rowing at the same time, or will that not happen?
Yeah, so the thing with the shift patterns is you go out usually with a shift pattern in mind, but then obviously, like Rowan said earlier, Mother Nature does her thing, like we can't control it. So if we get in a really, really bad storm, we're capsizing every 2 minutes, we're not going to be able to row. We're going to put our power anchor down, we're going to lock ourselves in the cabin, and we're going to wait till it stops. Do you know what I mean? If it gets to that point, so then we'll have no people rowing. But also, if we've got bad weather, but we still want the boat to be moving, so we've got enough that we can have people on the oars, it's better to have 3 people on the oars, all 3 of us, like rowing as hard as we can, and move forward 10 miles, because all the other people in the fleet that have put their power anchor down have gone back 30. So actually we've gained 40. So it's kind of like, we don't want to go back. So if you get into a position where it's really hard, like it is, like we're struggling, let's get another person on the oars and just keep moving forward. But equally, sometimes you get to the point where, like Dad said, there was points where he would be putting his oars in the water and it'd be slowing them down because they were having a wave, and the wave, you just surf the wave. So actually putting your oars in slows you down. So there were points where they'd go out and actually he'd come off the oars and he'd just sit there, eat some food, have a little rest. And stuff like that. So it really does depend. And, like I said, 2 hours on, 1 hour off is hard. So it might be that we try and do that for the first few weeks. And then once we're out into the ocean and we've got the winds backing us, we drop down to maybe 3 hours on, 3 hours off, and we only have one person on the oars for a section of time. So it's all just, we've obviously got to go and practice and just try the different things and see what works for us.
Yeah. It's things you don't think of, isn't it? So if let's say there is a storm and you go in the cabin, and you hide in there just to let it pass or whatever, like you just mentioned, can the water get in the cabin, or are you protected in there?
So the boat is built completely like a submarine.
Right. Okay.
That no water will get into the cabins or the lockers on the deck. It's pretty much a submarine that doesn't go underwater. So yeah, that boat will keep us alive. It's got solar panels which will power our electrics. It's got a water maker which brings in the ocean water, the salty water, put it through incredible pressure and give us fresh water. That is an incredible bit of kit. It's the most amazing bit of kit on the boat, I'd say. That is our lifeline. Other than the boat, that's the most important bit of kit.
Yeah.
What else have we got on the boat? We've got radios.
Yeah, radios, AIS.
We've got
food.
We've got something called an auto helm, which is what steers us. So, in a matter of fact, we put a bearing in, we put a heading that we want to go to into the computer, and all we have to do is row, and this autopilot, this auto helm, will steer us onto that heading.
Wow.
So we don't even have to worry about, well, obviously we do have to worry about navigating, but that is something that's already dealt with. So the boat steers itself.
That's incredible. And you mentioned fleet before, so is there other people setting off at the same time as you then?
Absolutely. Yeah, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so we're doing it as part of the World's Toughest Row with Atlanta campaigns. I think in our year there's 40, about 40 teams. Obviously people will come and go between now and then. But yeah, you all set off on the same day. So they start with the 4s, then the 3s, then the 2s, then the 1s. And they all set off from the same harbour in La Gomera. But then give it 3 or 4 days, everyone spread out over miles and miles. Give it 2 or 3 weeks, everyone spread out over hundreds of miles. So you probably may see someone for the first day, probably not even that. By the end of the first day, you probably won't see anyone else again for the whole row. The most likely person you'll see is someone in a big cargo ship going past, or maybe like a private charter yacht or something like that. But
that's still very rare.
Yeah, it's like one team a year pretty much sees another ship, and that's it. So we will be completely by ourselves, completely unsupported.
Yeah, that bit sounds bliss, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so raising money. Before we come to the end of the episode, raising money for cancer. I remember in the pre-chat there was a bit of a heartfelt story that you shared with us. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So when we decided to do the row, we knew we couldn't do something this big and this monumental without doing it for a charity. And pretty much instantly, I'd say within seconds, we decided to do it for a charity called Teenage Cancer Trust. And that's the reason for that is when I was at school, I had a friend, all of us had this incredible person in our year that unfortunately passed away of cancer. And I realised the huge impact it had on everyone. Even the people that weren't particularly good friends with her were massively impacted. That day, I will never forget the day that we were told she passed away, because I've never experienced like mourning like that, where just a whole year of 100 odd people came together and, you know, collectively mourned someone. And we decided to do Teenage Cancer Trust. Obviously, she was about 16, I think. She was 16 years old when she died. And I realised the incredible work that charity did to support her and her family, but everyone else as well. And we knew we were doing our campaign for young people. It was a great way to tie young people in that can't do what we do. Because they're going through chemotherapy or radiotherapy, they're super ill, they can't do what we do. So let's raise awareness for them and raise as much money as we can for those people who are exactly like us but in a more unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. I love that. You're turning that pain into purpose, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Love it. Guys, it's a massive congratulations to you. If you feel that there is something that we've not covered on this episode of sharing your journey that you think that people need to hear, is there anything that we've missed?
We have to go to the toilet in a bucket.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, again, why didn't I not think of that? Oh, God, you guys are going to have to wee and poo in front of each other.
That's the question that everyone asks. Where'd you go to the toilet?
Why did I not ask that? Now we're doing it on air. Oh, my God, yeah. So, all right, let's go. Quickly. Poos and wees.
Poos and
it's
wees.
just that. That's it.
It was my
Just on the edge and let it go.
It was my biggest fear until last summer, the pooing weeing situation. But when I did the North Sea, I actually realised it was okay because I had to do it in front of 11 other people. So that was fine in the end.
Yeah, so you're okay doing it in front of these two?
I think I will be now.
After doing it 11. But what about you two in front of each other?
You're jealous, Andy. It's what I'm scared of. So...
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to be weird, isn't it? Like, so when you have a poo, will you actually see each other poo?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. We just...
Anna, how do you feel about this, Anna?
She can just put a towel around her or something.
I think I'll be fine. I think they'll just not want to watch it.
No, I wouldn't want to watch it. I'll just row, close my eyes.
Oh God, that's going to be uncomfortable for a while, isn't it? Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hey, there you go. I'm glad you brought that up, Anna. That's a nice way to end the show. All right. I have 3 final questions for you. Future plans. We know the row is on the 12th of December of this year. Just quickly, what are the future plans for the 3 Flying Fish? Are you going to get back and want to do more, do you think? Or do you have your all individual routes? Normally spend a bit of time on this, but obviously we're running out of time for you guys. So, yeah, future plans. Because the reason why I asked that is because I need the viewers to see that this is not an end journey. This is a journey until the day we die, right? It's an ongoing journey. We're not just going to meet it and then we've fulfilled everything and let's live our life with no purpose going in. So I want them to see your purpose after this part of your purpose.
Well, we know that what we're doing, we've got a massive platform and that we'd be very silly and naive to sort of stop at the row. Mm-hmm. We've had many discussions about it. We don't know what, but we know we're going to do something. Whether that be setting up a company, setting up a charity, setting up a trust, anything like that.
Speaking events.
Yeah. We know we love helping people. We know we love doing what we're doing. We're all in it for the right reasons. We've got the passion, we've got the drive, the grit and determination, as we said. And most of all, we're all good friends, so we work very well together. But we don't know what. But we just know that something will come. And I think right now we just need to channel all our energy and our focus into the row and this campaign, because we're all trying to, with this, Anna's still in school, I'm trying to hold down a job and make money, and I'm going to university as well. Rowan's holding down a full-time job, so we don't have time to think about after the row yet, but it's definitely all playing in our minds massively. And I think that's something that will be happening imminently after the row.
I think the row will give you the answer, won't it?
100%. 100%.
Got a lot of time to think on that row. A lot of time.
Yeah.
So
those and all that mental space that you're going to have outside of any things you have to navigate on the trip, ideas will pop and they will flow and they'll develop and it'll be beautiful. Yeah, and I'm interested to hear that once you finish. If there's anyone that's going through something on the topics that we've discussed in the episode, so maybe the reason why you're raising money, cancer, loss of a friend, mental health issues, or seeking to understand what their dream might be, or along those lines, what piece of advice could you give to those people that are going through the topics we may have discussed?
I would give them the advice of just find something that you enjoy doing, or something that you do every single day, and make it a routine. Like even if it's just I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, and stick to it. For us, I think for me especially, the row has been my anchor point. Like anything happens in the world, my A-levels are going bad, I'm having issues with friends or whatever, I don't care, I've got to do the row. That is I'm doing the row, whatever happens, I'm focusing on that. And obviously I've got everything else to focus on, and I hope my A-levels go very well. But having that point that I can just be like, right, I just need to get to the start line. That's my current goal, is have the goal, and it doesn't have to be a goal of I'm going to run a marathon. If you eventually want to run a marathon, have small goals. Okay, I'm going to wake up at 7. I'm going to do a 5K. Or I'm going to go for a walk. Then I'm going to do a 5K. Then I'm going to do a 10K, and build it up. But determination is the biggest thing, and having that resilience to keep going. And sometimes I think it's much easier when you're with other people. I think if I had tried to do this solo, or I don't know about you guys, but I probably would have given up by now, 100%. But I think when everything happened, like we mentioned, when anything went wrong, it was kind of like we were there, we were in it together, and it's like, right, we all want to do it, so let's push each other. Just if one of us struggling, we'll take do you know what? If you want to take a step back for 2 weeks, that's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah.
But don't give up. Keep going and keep trying the best and make it to what you want to make it to, basically.
Absolutely.
I think to add to what Anna said, recently, for like the last probably 6 months, I've gone through probably one of the more difficult times in my life. Rowan's obviously been very open about his. But what I can give my advice on what I've been through, and Rowan and Anna can definitely agree, lean on your friends. Because if it weren't for Rowan, Anna, and obviously a handful of other people, I reckon I'd be very different now, how I am. But just if I ever go in like a low moment or something, I'll just give Rowan a call. Hey mate, do you want to go down the pub, or do you want to go out just for a drive or something? And that helps so much. It's just breath of fresh air. They can give you a bit of advice, or even just someone to talk to, because sitting at home you can become very lonely and get all clogged up in your feelings about things. But leaning on your friends is a massive, massive piece of advice, and I'd recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. And with what you went through then in the last 6 months, what Anna mentioned about knowing the trips there, the rows there, has that helped navigate you as well out of your... apart from going to the pub and meeting up and stuff like that, has the row in the back of your mind really helped you realign you?
Yeah, definitely. I think the row is a massive part. Like, it's given me something to look forward to. And I think since leaving school as well, obviously you've got friends dotting off to uni and stuff. It feels like everyone's sort of disappearing, but the row's like the one sort of consistent thing in my life at the moment. And I think me and Anna are both in the same boat, that we're very scared about after the row, and we're very optimistic. We're like, oh God, sort of thing. So the row's one of the most consistent things in my life at the moment. So if I ever have a low moment, I can just come back to that, do a bit of work on that, speak to the team, go out to the gym with him, whatever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. And I think when you get back off the trip, the row, you'll all be able to use that term literally. We're all in the same boat.
100%. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We was
Love
very
it.
much boat, yeah.
All right. Well, my final question for you guys. I wrote a book called How to Lead with Purpose. I think looking back now, I wished I'd wrote a book. Well, this needed to happen first, but I'd love to write a book around how to live with purpose, or why to live with purpose. It usually becomes very clear in the episode of what your purpose is, but I always ask the guests just put it into a very, very simple line. And you, Harry, before mentioned about, we just want to help people. Is that your purpose? Or have you got a nice, simple liner that you can put it into?
Our purpose is to inspire at least one person.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. And you all align, I assume?
Yes.
100%,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Please all come together and show us your uniform. I'll tell the viewers now. I've wearing my first, because this is coming up to my 1 year anniversary. The 3 Flying Fish are roughly around my 1 year anniversary, depending on where I'm publishing this. This is my new spot, but I've realised I've put it against a grey chair. How stupid of me. So I'm going to put a black thing, my old black top over that next time. But look at the Oh, what? That is amazing, guys.
A jumper. It's got our logo on the front with all of our stuff like that.
That is beautiful.
Yes.
I want one.
Personality traits in these fish here.
That's what fish are we. I'm a tuna, I think.
I love it. That is beautiful, guys.
Obviously, and then no ordinary way.
Can I get one of those? I'm going to send you guys a hoodie. Can you send me one of those?
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely we can. Go on our website, which is going to go live in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That will have a link to all of our merch, and all money from that will be donated to Teenage Camp.
Well then I'll just buy one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. At least I can contribute some way. I love it. Guys, thank you for joining me on my journey. You've got an incredible journey you're literally about to embark on the 12th of December. I'll put all the information on the show notes. If anyone wants to follow these three amazing humans, they're starting their row across the Atlantic on the 12th of December, my mum's birthday, who's still in the UK. So I can't forget the date. It's ingrained in my head. I'm going to be tuning in. Is there any way I can watch anything live whilst you're going? You've got all this amazing technology. Can I watch you?
Yeah, so the World's Toughest Row, the organiser we're doing it with, they live stream the leaving La Gomera and entering Antigua. So that's all on YouTube and Facebook, so you can watch that. They also take loads and loads of photos. So we'll send you over the link for the Smug Mug, and basically it's all the photos that they take during the pre-race period, the post-race period. And then we have something called a BGAN, which is basically Wi-Fi, but it drains your batteries, so we won't be using it very often. But when we do, hopefully we'll be sending some images back to family and friends. So that'll go on our socials as well, hopefully. So you'll be able to see what we're up to when we're mid-Atlantic as well.
Also, if you want to see where we are, Yellow Brick, download the app Yellow Brick or YB Races. Join onto the World's Toughest Road 2025, and then you can see our team, where we are exactly, how quick we're going. Updates every 3 hours, 4 hours, then 3, then 1 as you get nearer. So that's live as well.
Well, can you WhatsApp me all everything that you just mentioned? I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it into the show notes when this publishes in about 2 months' time.
Perfect.
Will do.
Love it. Thank you, guys, for joining me on my journey. Like I mentioned, it's been such a pleasure to know you guys the last couple of months, and I know we're going to keep this connection going. You won't be able to get rid of me now, and I can't wait for you to start on the 12th of December. It's going to be unreal. I'm so excited, and if I can be there, I will be there. Thank you so much. I just appreciate you guys joining me.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Amazing.
And I want you next year when you're back as well.
Definitely.
Don't you worry.
And if I'm not there and I come home to England, I will make a trip and we'll catch up and we'll get some photos and content and stuff. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
All right, we'll come to Australia.
Mate, I've got a spare room at the back. You come.
What we'll do, we'll row through the Panama Canal, row the Pacific to get to see you in Australia.
Guys, you are welcome. I live just near the ocean, 10 minutes away from the ocean. I'll meet you there and I'll pull you off and we'll drive home.
Brilliant. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you to everybody who's tuned in to Leading Our Own Way this week for an amazing guest, 3 Flying Fish. Thank you to the 3. And next week, we've got another amazing guest coming your way. So until then, keep leading your own way. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.